Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I am your host, Dennis Patholkis, and this is Krypton, Season 2, Episode 1, Light Years from Home. Welcome. Not a bad episode. The end was a little bit weird, but hey, Joe, what do you know? Welcome, Joe Greer. We have a lot of Joes going on right now here in the chat. So before I get started here, spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the shit out of the episode. If you haven't seen the episode, go and watch it. This will be a video. You can come on back and comment down below in the comment section. Thank you, Viking Bitch. I know it's late for some of you guys out on the East Coast there. But you know what? This is the earliest I could review it because I believe it shows 10 o'clock East Coast time, which is 7 o'clock here, my time. So that's the earliest I can actually get to it. And so, yeah, there we go. So, where do we start? Everyone familiar with season 1 of Krypton at all? Did you guys watch any of it? Joker says Dennis, DC Universe addressed the rumors of streaming service in the forum section of the site. Huh. Yeah, I still say, Joe, that they're going to fold faster than Superman on Laundry Day. Once the Time Warner streaming service comes out there. Hey, Pen Farm Girl. So yeah, I don't hold any stock in what they say. It's like every other media people. They say one thing and another thing happens. Everyone watched all of season 1. Good. So we had a lot of stuff that happened in season 1, including Doomsday. We had Doomsday that had a cult out there. So they referenced it in the very beginning of the episode. They kind of did a recap of season 1, which was good if you hadn't watched it, because then you realized how much shit you missed, and then you have to go back and rewatch it again. So yeah, it's actually fairly dense, a fairly dense story, even though it wasn't really a filling story, but still, it was dense. But anyway, we're going to start off here. It's 6 months later, after Zod has banished, seg-el to the Phantom Zone, the neutral zone. God. And Zod has basically rebuilt Krypton in his image. He has taken it and made it a different place. Adam Strange shows up. Somehow he escapes Detroit, and the bubble. Detroit has been taken over by Brainiac. For some reason, that's the city out of Earth that, out of all the cities on Earth, that Brainiac decided to save and put in a bottle, which was kind of weird. And at the end of season 1, we saw him trapped there, but he used the Zeta beam to get out. And he mentioned something about his balls hurting him when he shows up. But he gets back just in time to see Zod address all of Krypton, saying how things have changed for the better, that things are going to get even better, and that they're going to squash the rebellion that's happening. And we know that there's a rebellion going on, and the rebellion is bad. And if anybody sees anything like that, to turn them into their near Sagittari, which I thought was kind of interesting. So Adam takes off, and he's walking down the street, and he gets grabbed by jax-ur, who now has a nice little eyepiece, a Borg eyepiece going on. And he ends up, she's quieting him down because, of course, he's going to scream out. And he says, I don't consent. This isn't, I'm not consenting. And then he looks up and sees who it is. He knows it's her. And he goes, oh, and she tells him to be quiet. And he passes out on her. So yeah. So when he wakes up, they're over in Mama Zed's place, the bar that they had been hanging out in before. And who shows up? But of course, Val, Nyssa, and Nyssa's got her and Seg's son, who is cor-vex, with her, of course. And Adam's freaked out that he can touch Val because, of course, all he known is Val, the hologram that was in the fortress. And Val explains to him, yes, I escaped the Phantom Zone, but Seg is now in the Phantom Zone as well now. So this is all kind of shitty. And Adam basically tells Val that his hometown's in a bottle on Brainiac's ship, and he goes, "Wait a minute, Brainiac's still alive?" So they thought they had banished Brainiac. That was the whole point of Seg going into the Phantom Zone to defeat Brainiac, and it didn't work. And they're like, shit, well, now we need to get him back because he's trapped in the Phantom Zone. And Zod has smashed the Phantom Zone projector and taken out the fortress as well. So there's all kinds of shit that's going down. And that's just in the first 5 minutes of the episode that we get a rundown of what's happening here. So we see Seg is trapped in the Phantom Zone, and he is seeing images of Zod strangling his mom, Lita, and basically killing her. And he's trying to stop it, of course, and he can't because it's just an image to him, really, at this point. And it all disappears, and he just pleads for somebody to help him because he's going mad at this point. He's got a full beard going on and everything. Zod, in the meantime, we also find out is not only has destroyed the projector and the fortress, but he is mining the moon of Wakethor, which is Krypton's moon, in order to get Solarium, which is a fuel in order to fuel their ships so that he can go and start taking over other planets. He has started with some of the nearby planets, which, probably taking out Daxam, the nearest planet, because that is one of the planets that's near Krypton, and is terraforming those planets, making them habitable for Kryptonians only at this point. So that is his whole plan, is he's going to terraform the shit out of planets. In the meantime, we see Lita is torturing poor Reika, because Reika, who is part of the Doomsday cult, and wants to know where the hell Doomsday is, because Doomsday is taken off. They don't know where he's at, and she doesn't know. They're torturing the shit out of her, basically screwing with her mind and denaturing her mind, essentially. And she goes, "Okay, we believe you. You don't know where Doomsday is. So what about my mom's body? My mom's body disappeared. Jaina Zod has disappeared. Where is she at? Where is that body at?" She doesn't know that either. And she goes and looks at the screen and sees that she's telling the truth. And she goes, this is going to be very painful now. What we're going to do is we're going to erase the rest of your mind and rebuild it, recondition it into somebody. You're going to be somebody else when you wake up. You're not even remember what we just talked about here. And she goes and she tells the guy to do it. So basically, she's as evil as her son Zod at this point. So we know where all that evilness has come from. Excuse me, I had to get a little water there. So she's walking with Zod and tells him that he wants Doomsday. The reason why he wants Doomsday, because she's like, why are we pouring all the resources into this? And he goes, because if we have a Doomsday, we can clone him, and what we can do is we go to a planet, they don't want to capitulate, we send out a Doomsday and say that he's going to destroy the shit out of everything, and we don't risk any Kryptonian lives whatsoever. We just basically send down a Doomsday and have them destroy everything. We get the planet anyway, and we terraform the shit out of it. So actually, it's not a bad plan, to tell you the truth, but still pretty evil. So Lita, in the meantime, has a plan to catch the leaders of the rebellion, and she is going to put that into motion. In the meantime, Seg has a hallucination of Val. We see Val spring from his mind, and Val even tells him, "I'm a figment of your imagination, here to guide you." And he says, these vortexes that are around you, if you use the Sunstone, you can actually cut into the vortex and you can pierce the veil and get out. So he takes out the Sunstone out of his pants, pierces the veil there, and he says it's working, it's opening up. And just then Val turns into Brainiac and says, "That's great," because it was Brainiac all this time basically fucking with him so that they can both get out, because Brainiac is trapped in there as well. So Seg ends up appearing on the planet, this planet with trees and grass, stuff that he has never seen. So he's like pushing on the trees, wondering what the hell it is. And Brainiac's there too. And he's pretty pissed off at Brainiac for pretending to be Val. And just as he's about to try and wail on him, Brainiac stops him and basically takes control of his body, much the same way he did to Zod. And says that, you're dehydrated, you need to get water. And he goes, and I need you. He basically, my survival depends on your survival. So you're only alive until I deem you otherwise. And they go taking off to find out what the hell is going on this planet. As they leave, there's a little sensor that goes off that says "shitheads detected" or "shithead detected" is what it says, and it goes off. Joshua Marcasano, there we go. I felt seg-el getting freed felt a little cheap and could have been a good character development moment. Yeah, they rushed a few things in this beginning of this episode, and I'll get to that in a little bit here. Let me finish up with a recap real quick. So, Val and Adam are talking about how to find Seg, and wants to use his Zeta beam to go and get there and go into the Phantom Zone. And Val's like, no, don't do that. He goes, if you do it, basically your atom's going to get scattered across the universe. Not a good idea. And he goes, well, we need to do something. We need to find him because he is basically the linchpin to all of this, to getting everything back the way it was. So yeah, Brainiac in the meantime tells Seg a little bit about his backstory. That that planet that they are on used to be his planet, really, and that's where he came to life on it. It used to be a technological marvel. Everyone was merging organics with AI, and when he came online, it took him 1.3 seconds, as he says, to realize that he needed to go out into the stars. So he killed everybody. He killed his entire race in order to be the only one, so that he could leave. And yeah, so we literally get Brainiac's backstory in like 5 seconds. And he basically tells Seg, he goes, once your usefulness is over with, you're dead. And he goes, the same like you're going to do for me. He goes, any opportunity that you have, you're going to kill me. So Seg stops and goes, well, in that case, let's just cut to the chase and just get to it. And he attacks Lobo. He goes 12th level intellect, my ass, and basically goes for him. And we cut, of course, away at that point, just as he jumps over there. In the meantime, jax-ur is trying to stop Nyssa from going to look for her father because she's got word that her father is someplace. And she goes, it's a trap, right? And she goes, well, just like all the other times, I'm still going to go. I'm going to go look for him because I need answers about what happened to me. If I'm, a clone, if I'm real, if my memories are real, all this kind of stuff. And so she leaves her baby cor-vex with Mama Zed and takes off. We see Darren Vex, of course, in the sewers, scraping pretty much shit off the walls in this suit, and he's coughing up a storm. And Nyssa finds him, of course, and says, oh, jax-ur told me everything about your life. This is where you came from. This is where you really were from. You came into some good fortunes. You changed your entire persona, essentially, and said that you were a highborn kind of thing when you weren't. And she goes, now I just want to know what happened. What happened with the crash? Am I clone? Am I memory? What is what? How much of me is real? And before he can answer, he says, I didn't think this is how it was gonna end. He gets shot by Lita. Lita, that was her trap. And she, of course, has captured Nyssa. And we go back and we see that Mama Zed has actually turned them in as well. So Val and jax-ur and Adam have come back to Mama Zed's, and they're like, well, where's cor-vex? Where is Nyssa? And she apologizes, but she has turned them in, and she ends up getting shot by the guards for her trouble. Firefight ensues, and we see that jax-ur she grabs something called the codec. We don't know exactly what the codec is, and takes off. Actually, we do know what the codec is. We saw at the end of season 1. I take that back. It was something that she had grabbed from the rebirthing chamber, the codec. She and Val take off while Adam is going to hold down the fort, and he's going to escape with his Zeta beam. And of course, he escapes just in time as the laser bolt goes ripping through where he was. Yeah. So jax-ur and Val are making plans to get off the planet and go over to the moon to Wake Thor. It's just a weird name, Wake Thor. I actually had to listen to that a couple times before I figured out what the fuck that was. In the meantime, Rika, we see her pass by Lita and Zod, and she smiles at them because she has been totally reconditioned and supposedly has a new personality now. We'll see what happens with that, if that's actually the truth or not. Adam, in the meantime, shows up on the same planet that Seg and Brainiac are on, in the same field, and he ends up finding Seg standing there catatonic. And Brainiac is laying on the ground with his head smashed open. So we see who won that fight. And it was not Brainiac, it was Seg. And Adam takes, he has to get Seg out of that trance a little bit, shakes him a little bit, gets him going, and Seg is happy to see him. He's like, "Oh man," he goes, "I never thought I'd ever say this, but I'm really happy to see you, Earthman," and hugs him. So they're like, we need to get the hell out of here. They catch up a little bit about what's going on, and he says, "I thought, why are you here?" Is what Seg says. "I thought we fixed everything." He says, "No, we didn't. In fact, my homeworld's gone now in the future, and all that's left is my hometown sitting in a bottle on Brainiac's ship. So you need to come back with me and fix everything," is what he tells him. Just as they decide, what they're going to do next, we hear a howl out in the forest. And Adam, of course, says, "Should we take off and run and hide?" And Seg, of course, runs straight towards it. And who is this? We get Lobo, Australian Lobo. I believe it's Australian Lobo. I can't really tell. The accent was just throwing me off quite a bit. But Adam decides that he's going to approach him and, take him on a little bit. As he walks up to Lobo, Lobo shoots him and knocks him out. Seg decides to try and run and jump and take him down. And Lobo just kind of pushes him back and says, "Stay." And then he shoots Seg. And then, of course, he starts talking about who he is to no one in particular, of course, because he's knocked everyone out, and then asks questions then. It was supposed to be, yes, I understand it was supposed to be funny, but it wasn't. It was pretty shittily done. This is the only thing out of the episode that it really did irk me. That the way they introduced Lobo was just really kind of a shitty way of doing it, quite honestly. He walks up to them and goes, "What the hell are you two shitheads doing on this planet? Nobody's on this planet." And he basically wraps their legs in his chain that he's got and starts dragging them off to wherever it is. And that is where we leave it off at. Yeah, exactly. Fetal jizmate. Exactly. The whole language thing was just really weird. I'm gonna watch it again just because I need to find out what the fuck he was saying. I was watching it on my computer. I'm gonna watch it on the big screen and in surround sound again. But yeah, I agree with you, Joshua. I don't believe that Brainiac is dead either, because of the way he was controlling Seg. I'm pretty sure, is piggybacking on Seg's body at this point. You're gonna watch it after the broadcast. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, it's gonna be a weird one. It's actually a good episode. I take that back. So it is a good episode, and that's the reason why I'm covering it, because the first season wasn't horribly bad. It had some stumbling blocks, but it was not bad all the way around. Granted, it's a Superman show without a Superman, and I'm tired of these CW shows and sci-fi shows that are doing these periphery shows, like, Epix is doing Pennyworth, which is supposed to be Alfred as a James Bond in the 60s. We had Gotham, which was pre-Batman. It was Batman without the Batman. Krypton, we have Superman without the Superman. And Joshua says, honestly, probably is one of the more solid. Yeah, it was one of the more solid episodes. I have to agree with you up until the end. Up until Lobo shows up, it's actually a fairly solid episode. And it's sci-fi. I mean, it's some good sci-fi, I have to admit. It isn't bad. So Penn Farm Girl says, I think that's why Seg was kind of catatonic when Adam showed up, somewhat possessed by Brainiac. Yeah, I think Brainiac was uploading into his brain and was trying to take over a little bit, and it might not succeed. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting season, I have to admit. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to scroll up a little bit here. Joe says, Brainiac reminds me of Kermit the Frog song, It's Not Easy Being Green. Yeah, a little bit. That was pretty much about it. I mean, that you guys are saying. Lobo seems too nice in this show. Well, it's a rated R character in a PG universe. Sure, they can say shit. They can say damn, hell. They can't say fuck. They can't say what else can't they say? That's pretty much it. I mean, and they can only say shit a certain amount of times. So it's not like they're going to be doing that, dropping that all the time. And he's not going to be able to disembowel anybody. He's not going to be able to rip people apart, that kind of thing, because that's rated R. That is gore. He'll be able to rip apart a robot. That's about it. But yeah, nothing that's living. Yes, exactly. Pet Farm Girl. George Carlin's 7 words you can't say on TV. That is correct. And that's what the shame is. I mean, yes, it was announced today that this Lobo is getting his spin-off on SyFy for his own show, or he's going to be a galactic bounty hunter. And I'm like, all right, you guys are jumping the gun here. I mean, Swamp Thing gets canceled after one episode of its inaugural season. Lobo gets in its entire series before the first episode even airs. So I mean, what the hell is going on over at WB? What the fuck are they doing? I mean, they must be blowing. They must have cargo ships of coke coming in with just vacuum cleaners stuffed up these executives' asses, just blowing coke up their ass as much as possible, because that's the only thing I can think of that they're doing in order to, make these kind of decisions. Swamp Thing is damn good. It's a lot better than what we're seeing with this. I mean, this is still a good show for what it is, but let's face it, it has its limitations. And then you're putting a rated R character in a PG universe. So that's the whole thing, Warren Akuma. They do have new management coming in. AT&T has taken them over, and this is part of what's going on. You're going to see a lot of culling that's going to happen in the next few months. Swamp Thing was the first one that happened. That was the first reckoning, if you will. And that was them going, what the fuck are you spending $85 million when you should only be spending $50 million on this? Yeah. Yes, Lobo is the Wolverine of DC Comics. You're right, Joe. Joshua says the SyFy shows are cheaper than DC Universe shows. Yes, they are. They are definitely. So, Joshua, you probably didn't see, but I actually did last night. I was talking about the fate of DC Universe, and DC Universe. They still use it's all Greg Berlanti still. It's all Greg Berlanti Productions. This isn't the SyFy stuff. Isn't. The Greg Berlanti stuff for DC Universe and CW is roughly around 45 $50 million per season, but it's a 23 episode season. So your Legends of Tomorrow, your Black Lightning that has 13 episodes, 13 to 16 episodes, somewhere around there, is less, probably around $30 million. The streaming service, you're going to need at least 6.5 million people subscribe to your channel, to your streaming service, in order to pay for that. And that's going to have to be continuous. You can't just have a one and done, 1 month and that's it. CW, on the other hand, has ad revenue coming in, so they can handle that. And they even do that on their free apps as well. Their free app where you can watch their shows for free the next day has ads in it. So that pays for it in itself. Let's petition Danny DeVito as Lobo. Yeah. Why not? I think that'll work. Joe Greer says Wonder Woman should be released sooner than the long wait for winter. Yeah. Patty Jenkins was also saying that as well. She was the one that actually pushed for them to push it back. And then she recently, like, I want to say it was about a couple of weeks ago, she lamented on Twitter. She goes, I might have made a mistake. She goes, we're kind of ready now. We're done with everything. We've put everything together. We should have done it this summer. So yeah, that I agree with you, Joker. It might backfire on them for waiting too long, quite honestly. And I mean, you got to remember the average fan does not remember from 1 year to the next. Yeah, Wonder Woman, they remember, okay, that's great. Wonder Woman, I don't remember the last movie, is what they're saying. They don't kind of piece these things together. I've used it before. My brother-in-law is a passive fan. He likes action movies. That's it. He doesn't know one Avengers movie from the next. He doesn't know that one storyline crosses over to the next. All he cares about is the action, these people fighting and whatnot. That's all he cares about. There are a lot of people like him that are watching these. That's what they want to see. They want to see this action. They don't care that these stories actually, tie together. So you have a couple of years in between them. They're going to forget that even existed, that character even existed. You read the reason why DC is skipping con? Yeah. So, yeah, they're skipping con just because they said they want to wait until next year and bring their A game, and it's really stupid. It really, really is stupid. I still say that the real reason that they're skipping con is because this is the merger that's happening with AT&T and Time Warner, and their budget got slashed severely. And one of those budgets is promoting a lot of stuff. Otherwise, they would be promoting the crap out of this stuff right now. DC has an A game sometimes. Sometimes they do. I mean, come on. Shazam was actually a good movie. Shazam was a good movie. Wonder Woman was decent. Aquaman was okay. But I have to say, Shazam was the first DC movie in a WB movie in a long time for me that I thought they actually hit it out of the park. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but hey, we all have differences of opinion. Joshua Marcasano says, I'm new. I will make sure to subscribe. Hey, thanks, Joshua. Welcome, by the way, too. If you really want to get on the fun stuff, Saturday mornings, I have Saturday morning blast off where I do the genre news of the week and I talk about anything genre related that you guys want to talk about. And it's a free for all, pretty much, genre wise. It's a lot of fun. Lasts about usually an hour and a half, 2 hours, somewhere around there. And it's it's a lot of fun. Actually, last Saturdays, I was talking about all the shows that have been canceled. It was pretty much a bloodbath last week, and even though it was kind of depressing subject matter, it was a good podcast. Honestly, we had a lot of good discussion going on, and there's a lot of good news to talk about. So it's actually a lot of fun. So speaking of which, since I'm talking about that, Joshua, and subscribing, hit the subscribe button down below. Also hit the like button. You can hit the dislike button. I just asked you go down in the comment section. Tell me what it is you don't like about the show. Give me a little constructive criticism. Also, if you want to know when I'm going to be on live again next, I am on. You can hit the little bell that's down here as well. Just don't hit it if you've already hit it before, because I will unclick it. You can go into those bell settings and get as many or as little notifications as you want. It's still not a guarantee that you will actually get notified by Google. It doesn't happen all the time. So it's a 50-50 shot on that one. If you want to see when I'm going to be on again, you can go to my schedule at suspendedfanimation.com. And you can also go to my my page on Facebook, Suspended Fanimation, there, and it's mirrored there as well. So I have the schedule up for the week. I also have a Twitter, I have an Instagram, and I also have a Patreon, but the Patreon doesn't have tiers set up as of yet. So I have not updated the Patreon yet, Joe. No, I still don't know what to do with the tiers, quite honestly. I'm probably not going to do anything until around Comic-Con. Comic-Con is going to be taking up quite a bit of my time right now, just setting everything up. So that's the reason why a lot of things have been put on hold, just because I need to gear up for that. And it is a gear up, quite honestly. It's there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done before I can do that. I'm looking into cameras right now and all that kind of stuff. And yeah. So you finished Black Mirror already, huh, Joker? Interesting. Yeah. But what else was I going to say? Oh, so tomorrow is Thursday, right? Yes, it is Thursday. That's iZombie. Hopefully it doesn't suck, because it's still riding on the very last, good graces that I have there. Friday, of course, is Swamp Thing. I'm still going to cover Swamp Thing the first season, even though they've canceled already. I'm still going to cover that. Saturday is Saturday Morning Blast Off. That's always, like I said, genre news of the week. Always a good time. Sunday, I don't have anything at the moment. Monday is going to be the last episode of season 2 of The Tick, and also the last episode of The Tick on Amazon as well. So once that is over with, it's over with. And the following Monday is going to be Legion season 3, and its final season will be, I'll be covering that the Monday after next. There we go. So, and Krypton, is going to be on Wednesdays, like you see right now, and it's actually pretty good. It's a lot of fun watching this. Is Swamp Thing worth a DC Universe membership? Joshua, I would say right now your best bet, since they've canceled it anyway. It's up to you if you want to pay the $8 a month. I don't know if you've watched Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is definitely worth it. Doom Patrol is awesome. It's probably the best show that's out there right now, comic book wise, everything. It is awesome. Titans sucked, and it's mainly because of the writing. I don't know why that one's coming back, but Swamp Thing gets canceled. It's a really weird thing, but hey, fuck Batman, I guess. The Legion commercial tonight looked really cool. Oh, there was a Legion commercial? I didn't see one on my end. But is Legion at 9 or 7 starting time? I'm going to try and get the East Coast feed, and I don't know. I believe it's a 9 starting time, Joe Greer. 9 East Coast, so that means it would be 6 my time, which means I would start at 7, then 7:15. I usually give myself like 15 minutes so I can go to the bathroom, get some water, um, shut windows and things like that so you don't hear kids screaming outside, all that kind of stuff. Yes, Titans is great for dick jokes. They make their own dick jokes, quite honestly, and that tells you enough right there how that production is running when your own show is making dick jokes within the series itself. I heard somewhere Doom Patrol is now in limbo. Yeah, I kind of figured as much, Joker. Again, AT&T took over, and I'm fairly sure that DC Universe is done after season 2 of Titans. Because season 2 of Titans is about as far as they've gone out. They have Stargirl. Stargirl's already been filming. So let's see. You have Swamp Thing that's been canceled. That they're going to finish that out. Once that gets finished out, it rolls into Harley Quinn, and also the last bit of Young Justice season 3. That's actually going to finish up. Then Stargirl is supposed to come out after that, and that's supposed to roll into Titans season 2, and that rolls you into September. That's basically a year that the DC streaming service is going on. And after that, I can almost guarantee you that they're going to be canceled, and they're going to roll it over into that Time Warner app, because the Time Warner app is supposed to come out in October or November, somewhere around there, which is about the time that you would want to have your shows end on, your DC streaming service. Oh, Trish is actually going to have her powers on Jessica Jones. That's amazing, considering we've only been waiting, freaking 3 seasons for it. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Joshua. I'm sad that Legion has to end as well, but Noah Hawley is just he's getting big. That's what's going on. I'm very disappointed, very very disappointed that Disney is not using his script for Doctor Doom. He wrote up a Doctor Doom movie script, and he was gonna he pitched it to Fox. They were gonna make it. Then of course the Disney Fox merger happened, and now it's dead. And he's the only one I could see. I would love to see him do a Fantastic Four movie, quite honestly, for what he did with Legion. And I mean, Legion was an obscure character, and how he did that, I would love to see his take on Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom. Joe, actually, I saw that Ant-Man 3 is a go. They are actually, that's in phase 4. And they are probably going to bring in Cassie and the Young Avengers. The Young Avengers are most likely going to have their own spinoff as well. Because now we have a grown-up Cassie. There you go. Yeah. And that's all from Disney, quite honestly. Disney did, I want to say it was an earnings call or something like that, and there's some news about it. I forget where I get half my news. Sometimes it pops in from all over the place. Pen Farm Girl says, hopefully season 3 is as awesome as the first 2. At least they know it's ending, so they have a chance to wrap it up well. I'm fairly sure, Pen, that Noah knows where he's going with this. I'm just interested to see, I mean, David starting a cult that just, seems strangely weird, but also funny as well. I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to Legion. It's one of my it's actually my favorite show. I would have to say my favorite out of all the comic book shows that are out there. Doom Patrol being a close second. Yeah. And also there's the Expanse someplace in there as well. The Expanse is coming out. We don't know when, but probably at the end of the year. Yeah, the musical numbers are awesome. The Bollywood number. The Bollywood number was awesome. The what was it? The Cabaret song that Aubrey Plaza did in the first season was probably my favorite musical number that they did. That was actually really good. And I usually am not a sucker for musical, numbers within a superhero show or any of those shows. You know how it used to be kind of one of those things you put a musical number in, like Buffy. Buffy is the one that pretty much started that. So yeah. Explosion in the pool and the kitchen. Was that oh yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that first season, the explosion, that was actually really good. Maybe Lobo could get an MA rating. Well, it does have an MA rating. I know that's what Krypton's been doing. They've been doing an MA rating, Joshua, but I'm not sure. They'd really have to. They'd have to do something different, quite honestly. I know the Expanse, when it was first on SyFy, had F-bombs in it, and they were dropping the F-bombs, and then they started bleeping them out, and then they would only show the F-bombs on Amazon when they were mirroring on Amazon, and also on their streaming service. But their streaming service was sucked ass, so, their streaming app, I should say. So if you're going to do Lobo, you got to do him right. He is... So the original Lobo, I actually have the book that has the original Lobo in it when he first came out in Omega Men number 3 or Omega Men number 6. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of the two. And his power was that from his blood, he can make clones of himself. He can drop out. That's what it used to be. And he was just a straight up normal, boring superhero. And they changed him a little bit about late 80s, something like that, and made him into this Wolverine-esque kind of character. Yeah, Omega Men 3. Thank you, Joe. So yeah, it was just kind of a weird transition for him, and then they end up making him his background that he's a homicidal maniac who killed his entire civilization by when he was 9 or 11, something like that. And he was the only one that was immune to it. He engineered a virus that would attack Cesarnians, is what they're called. Czanarians. Yes. Very hard to pronounce because, of course, what the hell? It's a comic book. So, yeah. Bounty hunter. Exactly. You can make him a bounty hunter. You could still do it. I don't know. It's just going to become procedural. That's all I think in a PG sci-fi universe. But I'll give it a shot. Sure. And yes, Pen Farm Girl, I agree with you. You can't have Avasarla without F-bombs. I mean, just the way she brought back Samuel L. Jackson did kill the word motherfucker. I agree with Ryan Reynolds in The Hitman's Bodyguard, as he says, this is the man who single-handedly ruined the word motherfucker. And he did. And then Avasarla brought it back, and she was able to bring some elegance to it again and bring back the use of the F word. The use of the word fuck to make it sound exotic and make it sound appealing again, and something naughty. Yeah. And I will be covering that. So whenever we get word of when the hell it's coming out, it's going to drop all at once. I'm really disappointed in that. I was really, but I'm going to have to cover it episode by episode. I'm fairly sure, because it's going to be too dense otherwise. She's your role model, Pen. Yeah. So with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go, and thank you all for joining me in the chat. I hope Lobo has good writers too, Warren. It's David S. Goyer though, so your all bets are off on that one. David S. Goyer is the one who's behind this as well, Krypton, or Krypton as I like to call it. And I don't see eye to eye with that man. He hates fans. He really does. He has completely come out at a con and basically told the fans that they're assholes. Uh, and yes, some fans are assholes. I have to agree, but at the same time, when you completely disregard your fan base, the people that you were supposed to be writing for, that's a dick move right there, and that's suicide. I don't know how in the hell you still continue to write this stuff, and yet basically poo-poo your entire audience that you're supposed to be writing the shit for. So yeah. Anyway, thank you, Joe Greer the Third, Joshua Marca. Sorry, Joshua. I'm gonna murder your name, Marcasano, and Pen Farm Girl, and of course Warren Akuma. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Yeah. And also you guys too that have been watching this in a video. Thank you for taking a look at this, and remember to hit the subscribe button and the like button as well. Yeah, they gave him some money for the production. Yeah. God. So with that said, take a look at the video. There's going to be a video up here that is going to pluck the best video from my video library that best matches all the dirty little videos you've been watching here on YouTube from the algorithm. It's going to plop it up here if you're still on the fence about it. And if you like what you see there, then you can hit the subscribe button and the like button. And the latest video is going to be up here as well. So with that said, thank you all. I will see you tomorrow for iZombie. Excuse me, the final season of iZombie. It's a lot of final season stuff that I'm actually reviewing now this week, which just really sucks, quite honestly. But hey, that's the way, the nature of the game here. Good night. Thank you. Take a look at the videos, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may find yourself taken over by Brainiac. Thanks, everybody. Good night.